welcome to Extra Butter at Home. We're celebrating the 45th anniversary of one of the greatest movies of all time, Jaws, by having pretty much everybody talking about it. And I mean everybody. We're gonna need a bigger boat. Show. See? The end? I'm just talking about Desperados, the new comedy heading to Netflix. We'll go behind the scenes with all of its stars. Speaking of stars, WWE's finest, The Miz and Roxy, join us to talk about their new series, Cannonball. Because after all, this is a show about movies and whatever we want to talk about, because we're stuck at home watching everything on our screens, and Extra Butter goes with everything.
This shark, swallow you whole.
You're gonna need a bigger boat.
Hey, how you doing? I'm Marcus Allen. Welcome to Extra Butter. Why did I just roll into the show? I don't know. I find myself doing stuff that I used to do when I drink Fireball, only now I don't have to drink Fireball. Pandemic, quarantine, social isolation, craziness. Are you feeling it? Yeah, me too. Did you just hear a bell, or is that just me? Hey, thanks for watching the show. If you're watching on AFN, perhaps you're one of the men and women all over the world serving America. Thank you very much for your service and keeping us safe. If you're watching on YouTube, thank you. If you're not watching on YouTube, why don't you watch on YouTube? Be sure and like and subscribe along the way. This is a show that for over 10 years has been talking about movies the way you talk about movies. Only now and this time, we talk about movies and pretty much anything else you can get on your screen. And sometimes we talk with people on TV about movies. Case in point, this guy. Dirty Jobs, Mike Rowe, is one of my favorite people on the planet. Super good guy, and they're back at it with Dirty Jobs Road Trip. Spelled like his name, where he and the crew are going coast to coast, pretty much talking about their favorite episodes and creating some new episodes along the way. Why am I talking about this? Well, because the show has relaunched on Discovery and because he joins me right now. How are you, Mr. Mike Rowe?
I'm good, Mark. How you doing?
Doing great. Like I mentioned, we know a lot of the same people in common. The show blew up over 15 years ago, and every day since then, I've been trying to get some dirt on you. I've asked everybody we know in common. I've been trying to ask them for dirt to dig up something, and it turns out, resoundingly, you're a good guy. Everybody loves you.
Opinions vary, but there's no real smoking gun out there. At least I don't think there is.
There's not. And speaking of crew, what I love about this new reinvention of Dirty Jobs, you take the crew with you. It's kind of all about their crew. You put them in the spotlight more often than not.
Well, look, you've been in this business long enough. You know it's a band of brothers mentality, always, even if you're working in a studio. But when you're out in the real world and you're in dangerous places, uncomfortable places, and you've got cameramen and an audio guy and a producer who sometimes go into the hole before you do. They were an essential part of making this show. The making of Dirty Jobs was a dirty job, and getting them in the show was an important thing for me to do in 2005. And putting them back in an RV in 2020 at the height of COVID and driving around the country with these knuckleheads as we look back and reminisce on our favorite moments from the show. It was a great thing to do and exactly what we all needed to do after 4.5 months of sitting right here doing Zoom TV. Oy.
Yeah, don't get me started about that. Well, you talk about these knuckleheads, but what people don't know, you have cinematic trained director photographers running your TV show. So how do you get these guys, award winners, to go down in the sewer?
We kind of Forrest Gumped their way into it. They didn't know what they were signing on for, and really, neither did I. I did 3 pilots that I wanted to dedicate to my grandfather, who had done all these jobs, and this back in 2004. And nobody thought it would be a show. Nobody imagined it would be a hit, and nobody dreamed it would ever be a franchise. But all of that happened because after the first episode, thousands of people sent me letters, not saying, oh, you're great, or boy, we love the show, but you ought to meet my dad. Wait till you meet my grandfather, brother, sister, uncle, cousin, right? People were anxious to share their journey in work. The core guys, Doug, Jones, Barsky, and Troy, they've been with me through it all. And so when it came time to look back at the show seriously, I didn't want to do it without them. So the network was great, got us an RV, we hit the open road, and the results are on the TV tonight.
And on the Discovery app. All right, since you're on my show, a movie show, I would be remiss if I didn't ask you, what's your favorite movie of all time?
I think Jaws is a damn near perfect movie in so many ways. And even though I have literally memorized the entire script, if it were on right now, I'd probably get up and walk away from the interview to watch it. No offense.
No offense taken. Mike, we're going to need a bigger boat.
That was an improvised line, by the way. Wasn't in the script. That was Roy Scheider.
I'm crying that you know that. That is so awesome. Thank you so much for hanging out, man. Good to see you.
You got it.
All right, there you go. Such a good guy, Mike Rowe. I love that he brought up Jaws. And if you think about it, since the pandemic, it's been coming up a lot. Everybody I talk to is watching this show. And of course, it turns 45 years old this month. In fact, remember just a couple weeks ago, I was talking to Josh Gad because his co-star in Artemis Prime is the grandson of Quint. Take a look. Did you fanboy or resist fanboying with your younger co-star, who is the grandson of Robert Shaw, Quinn from Jaws, one of the greatest movies of all time?
How crazy is that? When Ken told me that, I couldn't, like, I didn't understand yes. Like, just talk about royalty. And I had just seen Jaws again, and I was just like, oh my God. Yeah, I was definitely geeking out.
Gonna need a bigger boat. All right, be sure to check out Jaws, now playing just about everywhere. All right, shifting gears just a little bit. When we come back on Extra Butter, one of my favorite critics of all time from Motown, joining us for the first time on Extra Butter to talk about Desperados, why it's in the top 10 on Netflix, and why you should see it if you haven't, next. Hey, welcome back, and thanks for hanging out with us on Extra Butter. Netflix now disclosing its top 10 list. So let's start by talking about one of the top 10 movies on Netflix. It's a Netflix original. It's Desperados. With more on it, I go to my expert. I say expert. I really got him to be on the show because I'm lonely, you guys. This is my longtime friend, Greg Russell. Say hi.
Hello, folks. Good to see you. Good to be here with you, Mark.
Greg Russell is one of my favorite movie critics. You can see him on NBC in Detroit, live in the D. And I'm assuming the D stands for Detroit.
That's right. Clear. That's us.
Awesome. And also Movie Show Plus, phenomenal show. I'm going to link all his information at the end. In the meantime, let's talk about movies, specifically Desperados. What'd you think?
I actually loved the movie. I mean, it's a nice little, when I say simple comedy, you know, not one of those you're going to go in and go, oh, I'm looking for this great thing. But it's a fun movie because truthfully, Mark, when you watch it, it's all about this one young lady who met a guy. They had a fun weekend. He says he's going to call her. He tells her that he's going off to Mexico. 5 days pass by. She doesn't hear from him. She gets drunk with her friends and sends this scathing email, only to find out as soon as she presses send, he calls and he's been in a bad car accident. So her thing, of course, is she and her girlfriends have to get together to go down and try and, you know, delete the message off of his computer and his phone and all like that. And, you know, somewhere along the line, we've either always been either A, the person who did something dumb, or B, the friend who has to go along with the person who did something dumb. So you're just kind of watching this like, oh yeah, my 20s. Yeah.
I thought Nassim did a phenomenal job, and hats off to Netflix for the casting on this, because Nassim leads a really multicultural cast. In this day where so many casts are just the same old people you see over and over again, they really made an interesting choice all the way around.
That's for sure. I mean, she does an excellent job, you know, just playing the person who is heartbroken, but then all of a sudden it's like, oh my goodness, I've got to clear this thing up. And then also the relationship she has with Lamorne Morse in the movie. It's the classic thing, you know, the guy and the girl who he's just there really to help. They both kind of like have special feelings for each other, but they don't want to mess up the friendship. And then they also have Anna Camp in it and Sarah Burns, who plays her two girlfriends. And they're there to help out, even though they've got stuff going on in their lives as well.
And a bigger name cameo, right?
Right, Heather Graham.
Yeah, that's right. She's no stranger to comedy, and I appreciate you doing the deep dive to talk to these people.
That's right. I got a chance to talk with them, and here we go.
I remember liking how relatable it was. And again, whether you're Wesley or people who are not Wesley in the movie, basically everyone else, you can, even for her character, you can understand where her panic comes from.
Here's your guy, you know, starts out, you meet on a date. Things were, you know, a little shaky in the beginning, but all of a sudden you become Johnny on the spot every time she seems to get into trouble.
Yeah. I think that was one of the cool things about the character, was that he had this layer to him that we don't really know what it is until he confides in her what's going on with him. The reason why he's there is because he genuinely likes her.
Definitely. I've been both people for sure. And I have like a core group of girlfriends that like have helped me out through a lot of craziness. So yeah, I would rather be the friend helping, but I am really glad that I have friends that help.
Right. I love being the friend that helps. Like the second someone's like, hey, I'm like, what can I do for you? Like Florence Nightingale, what do you need? You need a cold compress, a drink, a baby. Like, I'll give you my child for a few days, whatever you need, because I feel like I'm usually the one sounding the crazy alarm.
I love that you brought up the wine drinking because, you know, if not for the fact that I'm allergic to wine, I break out in handcuffs when I drink. I think this is definitely, like they said, this is a good movie to maybe throw back a Chardonnay this summer.
Yeah, Mark, it's a fun movie. I had a nice glass of Pinot Noir while watching this, and it's a fun movie. I'm a member of a movie club, which is like a book club. I'm the only guy with 6 women. So we're watching that movie for next week, and we all get on, we all have our wine and talk movies, and I know that they're really going to enjoy this.
All right, Greg, so as we've discussed many times, you and I both love the Beatles, am I right?
Absolutely. Looky there, me and Paul, me on Ringo's drum kit in Liverpool. Yeah.
Oh, that's right. That's right. You were there. I was like 6 feet away from you when you met Paul McCartney at the Critics' Choice Awards.
Right.
So I went to Netflix and pretty much everywhere looking to see if, you know, like Hamilton is now on the big screen, if I could find the Beatles' Love musical somewhere.
Right.
Specifically, I went to Netflix and I didn't find this Love. Instead, I found this Love 3D. Have you heard of this?
No!
I've got to say, the look you just gave, just to goof around, is the exact look everybody has. In fact, the reason this movie is in the top 10 on Netflix right now is because people are posting on TikTok what they look like when they see the opening minute for the first time, and it looked exactly what you just did.
Oh my God, I'm gonna have to watch it now.
No! Man, did you get hoodwinked? I brought you on the show to talk about Desperados, and we ended up talking about adult film. Hey, don't blame me. It's on Netflix, for crying out loud. Greg Russell, wave goodbye. Thanks for hanging out with us. Greg Russell, ladies and gentlemen.
Thanks for having me, Mark. Great to see you and good seeing everybody.
Yeah, stay well, my friend. And you'll need to wash your hands and wear a mask, especially if you watch that Love on Netflix I told you about.
Oh, God. Well, I've got hand sanitizer all over the house, so I'm good.
You'll need more than that. All right, when we come back on Extra Butter, let's go back to the top 10 list on Netflix. Why are old movies coming back? Chuck and Larry? What? Double Jeopardy? Tommy Lee Jones? Really? Yes. We'll talk about it and why next. Hey, welcome back and thanks for hanging out with us on Extra Butter on this pandemic-y summer. How you doing? Did you wash your hands during the break? Did you wash your hands? Wash your hands. All right? Didn't mean to snap at you, just trying to keep you safe. Hey, let's talk about crazy stuff going on with Netflix. Now that they're publishing their top 10, some of the most unusual movies are ending up there. For instance, if you go to this Newsweek article, hold on, pass that, hold on. Right there, check it out. Double Jeopardy. That's right. A movie from 1999 making the top 10 list. Tommy Lee Jones, Ashley Judd. Why do I shudder? Because Tommy Lee Jones is one of the most difficult people to interview ever. Want to cringe with me? Take a look at this. I have to be honest off the top here. You intimidate the hell out of me.
Oh.
Reason being because...
Well, mind your manners.
I will. I'll behave myself. And by the way, what's your lifestyle like back in Texas when you're not doing the Hollywood thing? What's your life like on the ranch?
Those ranches would be what people in the cattle business call a commercial cow-calf operation, which means that we own mother cows. Our product is their calves. We sell them when they're weaned. Mm-hmm. Sometimes we'll hold them for a little while after they're weaned in order to get them in better shape for where they're going, which would either be another pasture or a feedlot. So most of our work is built around the mother cow. We undertake those tasks that improve her life. We take steps to be sure that they don't get sick, that their body condition remains consistent throughout the year, that it doesn't vacillate with range conditions, so that their rate of lactation is consistently high throughout the time that they're nursing a calf, so that that calf will weigh more on the day when we wean him and take him to the auction barn.
That's just me and Tommy Lee Jones talking about the cattle industry while trying to talk about Double Jeopardy. Either way, I'd love for you to show up in comments on YouTube or otherwise. Let me know, why are you loving this? Why is that in the top 10? And check this out. Even in Newsweek today, I now pronounce you Chuck and Larry inexplicably makes Netflix top 10 list. Why? Why is this happening? I'd love to know your thoughts in the comments down below. Chuck and Larry, made in the earlier part of this century. Some might say it's a little bit dated in its philosophy, though I will say in regards to it being not PC, it does tend to align more in the third act with where we're at right now. Either way, back in the day, I sat down with Adam Sandler to talk about it.
He's still at this age really big at throwing toilet paper and stuff on people's
He's
that guy.
I peed outside of McDonald's.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's tough.
that was rough.
You know what?
I was younger.
Big Daddy kind of influenced you with the peeing.
Yeah, I had it was a teddy bear next to me. I didn't have a kid. I was younger at the time, so I just put a teddy bear.
You just
I
held it there?
I said, please.
We're both peeing.
Yeah, but I peed for him too.
That's me like 70 hairstyles ago talking to Adam Sandler about I now pronounce you Chuck and Larry. Why? Because you put it in Netflix top 10. Why? You're going to have to answer that in comments. All right, when we come back, let's deviate again from movies and go back to television. The Miz, WWE superstar, and Roxy join me to talk about Cannonball, the most awesome action series ever. Hey, thanks for watching Extra Butter. Welcome back. If you're watching on AFN, shout out to all the men and women all over the world watching and protecting the US of A. And if you're watching on YouTube, thank you. And if not on YouTube, jump on YouTube, like and subscribe. Thank you very much. Normally, we talk about just about movies, but the new normal's not even normal anymore. So let's talk about this, Cannonball. I can't begin to tell you how much I love this series. Now, USA Network probably doesn't want to make comparisons to Wipeout, but it's like that, only on steroids. Speaking of bigger, your host behind it, WWE superstar The Miz and Roxy. There they are.
What's up, Mark?
Hey, what's up? The Miz and Roxy. The most important question, where are you and how are you?
I am at my house. I am doing fantastic. I mean, look at this set, by the way. I mean, this is my daughter's toys. This is my daughter's toys. I have lights over here, lights in front of me. This is the setup. And still, Roxy has a better setup and better lighting than I do.
I only put things on my shelves because Mike told me to. He was like, put something on your shelf, please. They're bare. I was like, okay, but I'm home. I'm enjoying being home.
This is a full suit. I'm not halving it. I've got suit pants on and everything. I really went all out for this. Roxy, did you go all out for this media day?
Do you see this hair and makeup that I woke up for 4:30 in the morning? Yes, I did. Thanks, Mike.
So if you stood up, you wouldn't be wearing sweatpants, right?
I would be wearing gray trousers. That's what I'm wearing, gray trousers.
Oh, gray trousers. Right.
You guys, I interviewed Tom Hanks last week, and this guy was in front of an absolute gray wall, nothing else. So you're doing better than that.
I mean, Roxy put up some shelves. Roxy put up some shelves. She put some things on her shelves. You know, she's got the whole thing going.
All right, I love it. And you guys, thanks for being on my movie show to talk about television. Tell everybody why they should be watching Cannonball between movies.
Yeah, Cannonball is amazing. We had so much fun doing it. As you can see, like, the chemistry between myself and Roxy, as well as our sideline reporter, Simon Gibson, is second to none. I mean, the comedy just keeps going. The entertainment is there, and the competitiveness of our contestants. And as much as I'd like to say, you know, we're the stars of the show, it's not. The contestants are the stars, and it's every walk of life from every which way, and it's so much fun to watch.
Roxy, tell everybody why this is the right show for right now, during this time.
Oh my gosh, because who doesn't want to sit around the TV and just crack up laughing at people just completely going for it in the water? I mean, we all love belly flops. We all love big water slides. It's just that moment right now that we need. It's a family time. It's a good time around the TV. But trust me, you're going to crack up laughing, and you're going to be talking about, did you see Cannonball last night? Oh my gosh, this person did this and this person did that. You're going to be wanting to replay it over and over again on your phone.
3, 2, 1, Cannonball! Oh boy, does that speed come into play. His weight is really propelling out. Oh my God! Wow, what a terrific performance.
Definitely, that was
Absolutely
great.
incredible.
Let's take a look at that again.
Going down the mega slide, he really did look like a cannonball.
Hey, Mr. Miz, who brings it more, the women or the men in this Cannonball series?
Honestly, all of them. I mean, we have every single type of competitor you could think of, from videographers to radio hosts to we have like NCAA collegiate athletes. And let's face it, you would think like these athletes that are in the gym 24/7 would be amazing at this, but some of them aren't that great. Like, their strategy is not the best strategy to go about doing Cannonball. I mean, these competitions range from being on a 100-foot mega slide to being on an air cannon that literally we drop a 500-pound cannonball on it and it lifts you about 70 feet in the air. So, I mean, there are just so many fun games and laugh out loud moments that you're going to be entertained for the whole family.
It is awesome. Look, I'm going to go belly flop in my pool to audition for you guys. Thanks for hanging out with me on Extra Butter, you two.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Hey, look, it's Roxy and The Miz. How awesome was that? The show is Cannonball. It's on the USA app. You can watch it pretty much anytime you want. Oh my gosh, look at the time. That's it for this Extra Butter. If you're watching on YouTube, thank you. If not, you should watch on YouTube. You can catch all of our interviews, both fresh and historic. While you're there, be sure and like and subscribe. Hey, speaking of historic, this week, happy birthday to none other than Harrison Ford, Indiana Jones. Han Solo turns 70-something. Happy birthday to you. I'd love to fly a Millennium Falcon with him. Don't know if I'd want him flying my plane. Google it. Oh, look, credits are over.